my name is Anna Pavlova. I'm from the Urals. It is the place where there is a border of Asia and Europe. And there are ancient Ural mountains and also the well-known town of Arkaim. It is the very specific place, and I was born in the place of transition. So this place is controlled and ruled by the mistress of a copper mountain. I think you've heard about her from the legends. She is a keeper of crystals, so she is the keeper of memory and information. I graduated from the Ural State Economical University with the degree in economic relations, in international relations, and also I graduated from the Pedagogical University. I finished the technical school in the direction of builder and cook. I also was in the United States, where I practiced my English and learned about the lifestyle of another country. Moreover, about 9 years, it's almost 1/3 of my life, I worked in the state budgetary educational institution. It's the Lyceum and boarding school of teenagers and children and their personal formation. I was there an educator, a teacher and a methodologist. I also was the head of the multi-age groups of different children, and I was the head of the international department and also the administrator and the developer of different subject courses. I built this school for 9 years with my heart, soul and with my mind. But as you know, 9 years is a cycle, and after the completion of 9 years, every person needs to have some kind of result and then to make a major step to his life, to go forward. So I grew up and go forward now. Now I am engaged in the psychopedagogical practice, and I'm working on the concept of the education of new time, where the natural laws of new time works. These are the laws which are relevant in the time after 2016, after the time of transition, which took place in 2012 and 2015. But the transition is over now, and the laws which were relevant at that time are useless at this time now. So we need to know what are these laws at this particular new time. That's why I'm going to talk about this on my seminars in more details. A lot of questions were asked to me, so I decided to choose the most urgent and to answer these questions at this time. I'm going to travel from Yekaterinburg to Europe. Yekaterinburg is a city where the royal family of the last Russian Emperor Nikolai II was killed. So it was a great distortion in time and space, and in 100 years, so 100 years later, it is now, I'm going to travel to Europe and to remove these distortions. So it's time distortions which can be removed only by special ancient techniques with the usage of wax and propolis, and I'm going to show you how I can do this. So during the revolution, natural laws were violated, so there was distortions in time and space. And as you know, very often we say that it's very important that things will happen on their particular time. And you know that nowadays many people can say that they have no time for very important things in their lives. And they always blame the technical civilization because there is a lack of time and the speeds are very high. But don't you think that the lack of time is because we have lost this time in centuries? And we need to restore this time, and we can do it only by special methods. So, for example, we can use church ceremonies and we can use different crystals to save our energy, but we can't save time with the help of them. And propolis is the only natural material, or the only natural substance which we can use to restore the time distortions. And I will do this especially in Europe, because it's very important, I think. I'm involved in the process of converging time and space at the particular place and particular time. And concerning the question of education. In Russia, education sounds like образование. Obraz, it is the image and the ideal. And so образование or education, if we think it from the Russian language, which is very close to the ancient one, is creating images or the call of the image. It's very important to understand because every child needs an image in his life. And it's very important for him to follow some image, some ideal, and to take the energy from it. Here arises also the question of kid energy and the usage of this energy in our life. So we can take the energy from the image, from the past, and use it now, in our days. I know that this question is really urgent for many people now, and I want to tell about it on my seminars also. Moreover, we need to think of the clearance of the space where we have this educational process. As I told you, I'm going to show you how to do this, because the particular information for particular people can come only to the particular place which is clear from the time and space disturbance. So we need to understand that for any event, the time and the space should converge, and we'll also work on it. Now I want to tell you how I work with information. So I work with it with the help of the method of immersion. So immersion is a concentrated dominant appeal of one particular subject and the concentrated appeal of the information flow of this subject at a particular time. On my seminars we are going to talk about the immersions and how we can organize them, how prepare the space for this educational process, and also how to look holistically at the subject, how to see the system of the subject. We'll think of the terms of any subject on the example of mathematics and biology, using the sense of every sound. On the example of the Russian language, as I told you, it's very close to the ancient one. We'll also talk about mathematics and biology. As you know, Gauss said that mathematics is the queen of all sciences, and Pythagoras said that everything is measured and everything is subject by the numbers. And also Galileo Galilei said that the book of the nature is written on the language of mathematics. So it's very important for us to understand these laws, because we really live in the world of numbers and in the world of shapes. And we think of it together with you, we will understand this, and we'll try to learn how to use these particular natural laws in our life, to be in the information stream. And we also will talk about the biology, because as you know that biology is the science about life. But what life is really is, and how we know from where did the life come. You know that in all textbooks we have different definitions, but I'll show you how definitions can influence the worldview of every person. And then how he can be responsible or not responsible for his life, and how he can choose if he manages his life or he gives his management to another one. It's very important to understand, because this is the new paradigm of education. We'll take a look on the cell, on the man and on the earth in the single system, and we'll see that it is the whole system, and also we'll look on them within the idea of Hermes. So what is above resembles what is below. And I want also to give you one secret of the successful movement in the information flow. You should know this for sure. It is that people should get only information which is relevant for them at this particular time. If you get the information that you can't digest at this particular moment, and it is useless for you, you just become older and older. And the secret is that you need to take only the necessary information, then use it. Youth is only the metabolism of energy and of information. And you won't need any surgery, any plastic surgery, if you use information in the right way. As you know, we live in the world of interactions, so it's extremely important for us to understand where we are now, where we are going, with whom we are going now, and who is under us, who should listen to us, who is above us, whom we should listen to. And if we understand this hierarchy, if we know the laws, how to build this hierarchy, a lot of problems will go away. And you will ask me, but how to do this? We don't know how to do this. And it's the theory of filters and the secrets of time periods. I will be talking about them on my introduction seminars. So the same advice can't be useful for everybody, and not all the children can study together. And it is the key point which we need to realize. Only after this differentiation of children, with the help of observation and careful watch on the activities, we can use different techniques and tutorials, and only then they can be really useful. And I want to tell you one story. It's the story based on the real facts that I think will help you to catch the point. So it is the story about the Christians. They came to Siberian people and they start to preach Christianity. They did it for long 3 years, and then they helped them to know how to open their heart, how to keep their hands while praying, how to keep their open pray with the God, and how to do all these moments according to their Christianity, according to their law. And then they built a church together with them and the altar. Then they said, you Siberian people, you are real believers, and you know that Jesus is our Savior. We see that you are real believers and we can live now. And they left. When they left, in 2 hours they saw someone who was waving their hands and running on the water. It was so strange to them, they were really afraid. But then they saw that there were Siberian people who were trying to catch up with them. They cried to them, "What are you doing? You can sink." And what do you think? What answered Siberian people? They said, "Oh, we are so sorry, we have forgotten. How many candles should we put on the altar? 2 or 3? And they did all this running on the water. Can you imagine this? So only at this time Christians really understood they did something wrong within all these 3 years. You see, the same situation now happens with all the teachers and the new children. There is also an urgent question of kin energy and mismatch in the families. So, as I told you, that kin energy can be revealed not only with the help of folk songs and folk dances, as a lot of people used to think, but with the help of the image and with the help of the ideal. So a lot of people nowadays blame the existing educational system and their own problems and the failures of their own children. But it's not right, because the educational system can't solve the mismatch in the family. And you know that you can't pass the solution of your problems to another person. It's impossible. The solution can be also in gathering like-minded people and in creating the society, a small environment which is equal to your own lifestyle and which corresponds your requests. And also these are people who are aware of the hierarchy in their relations. And have you ever think want to grow in the light of our present time. So what features, what skills, what knowledge do a person need to adopt to the modern society? Have you ever think of it? And it's a really important question. We shouldn't think how to teach a person to write, to read, to know mathematics, chemistry or biology. We should think how can he live in this modern society. And do you know that only in 30 years a person can become who he really is, and only in 50 years he is really an adult. If you know this, you can think about the educational process in the right way. In this case, we need to think what children came to us at this new time and this new millennium. Are the techniques and tutorials that we are going to find, the new methodology and the new methods, are they themselves really necessary for these children, or they are necessary for teachers and adults which work with these new children? Maybe we need to go above our fears and stereotypes and look in another way to the whole system of life and the whole paradigm of life. You see, the vibrations of the space have been updated, so it requires the new type of behavior. I would like to tell you some words about our experience of working with children and their results, how we teach them to work with information. So, for example, there is a girl who is 20 years old, and without studying in the special musical institution, she won the competition, and now she is acting and singing in the professional theater. And nobody can even guess that she is not a professional singer. And also a boy who is 12 years old, he took 15 lessons in violoncello, and he plays now the sonata of Bach, and it's a really great result, and nobody can also guess that it's only 15 lessons. Another guy who is only 10 years old, he was listening for many times by himself the aria of the Queen of the Night by Mozart in the YouTube. And he learned this aria and he sings really good. However, 2 months ago he can't even sing any sound. So everybody said that he's not talented at all and he won't sing in all his life. Moreover, these children, they studied for about 1 year English language, and when they met foreigners, they easily can communicate with them. It is just because they feel this language and they know that it is alive. It is really alive for them. So these children, when they are 20 years old, they can easily calculate a business plan for a small production, and they feel that they're responsible for their lives. They can think independently and can organize something which is really useful for their lives and for the society. We also need to talk about the ambitions of teachers and parents, which want the results from their children which are not really necessary for these particular children. So with the help of the energy of these children, using this energy, the teachers and their parents want to realize their dreams and their goals of their childhood and of their present time. And we need to think what do really children need now at this present time according to natural laws of this new time. But you will ask me how we can think this if we don't know this. So it's the time, it's close to midnight, when it is really dark, still, but we need to go somewhere, we need to move, and it's unclear what is above, but we need to move, and with the help of natural laws we can do it. and I can show you how to do it on my seminars. But I want to mention now, which is really important, that we need to understand that not all people are equal. When there was a time of revolution, all the people were made equal. But it's not like this, because everyone can't do everything. But everyone should be in his particular place and make something which he must do, and fulfill the task and the goal of his own spirit and his soul. And it's really important to understand, and according to natural laws, using these laws, we can do this. As we see from the global experience, the democracy, the distorted democracy, made everybody equal. But this freedom is just the illusion, and only we can do something in the framework, in the rigid structure, and we can't go beyond this framework. And we all understand this, that there is really no freedom, because the real eternal freedom is our order in ourselves and the understanding of our way. So this is the question of frequency, of high frequency and low frequency people. I think you asked me how we can understand who are of low frequency and who are of high frequency. And I will show and tell you how to understand and how to make the differentiation. But we need to know that if we put a person, a child of high frequency into the group of children with a low frequency, his future life can be even destroyed. And not any technique or tutorial will help them in his future life, because there are different types of education for low frequency and high frequency children. And it's a really important question which we need to take into consideration, and I'll show you how to do this.